The past can feel like a room you keep walking back into, even when you promised yourself you wouldn't. One small reminder, one random thought, one old feeling, and suddenly you're there again, replaying words, faces, choices, and moments that cannot be changed. The mind says it is trying to understand, trying to protect you, trying to make sure you never get hurt the same way again. But the heart knows another truth. Some memories are not asking to be solved. They are asking to be released. Forgiveness is not a gift you give to the past. Forgiveness is the moment you stop letting the past keep a grip on your life. It is the moment you say, I will not carry this pain into my next breath. It is the moment you choose peace over replay. You choose freedom over the need to be right. You choose healing over holding on. There is a quiet power in deciding that your life will not be led by yesterday. Not because yesterday didn't matter, not because it didn't hurt, but because you matter more than what happened, because your peace matters more than the story you keep telling, because the future is not built by the past alone. The future is built by what you choose today, in this moment, with the mind you have and the heart you are learning to trust. Take a slow breath in. Let it be gentle, not forced. Let your shoulders drop a little, even if only by a small amount. Let your jaw soften. Let your face loosen. Let your body receive the message that it can rest for a moment. There is nothing you need to prove right now. Nothing you need to fix right now. Nothing you need to chase right now. Just breathe and let the breath remind you, you are here and you are safe enough to begin again. When people hear the word forgiveness, they often feel pressure. They think it means they must be calm about what happened. They think it means they must smile while remembering something painful. They think it means they must pretend it didn't matter. And if they cannot do that, they believe they have failed at forgiveness. But the truth is much kinder than that. Forgiveness is not a performance. It is not a mask. It is not a quick decision made in the mind while the body still holds the pain. Forgiveness is a healing path. It is a practice. It is a return to yourself. Healing begins the moment you let the past go, not because you forget it, but because you stop living inside it. Healing begins when you stop letting old pain decide how open your heart can be today. Healing begins when you stop letting old guilt decide how worthy you are now. Healing begins when you stop letting old anger decide how much joy you are allowed to feel. Let the words sink in slowly. Healing begins the moment you let the past go. Now, letting go does not always happen in one big wave. Sometimes it happens like a knot loosening, little by little. Sometimes it happens like a tight fist opening, one finger at a time. Sometimes it happens like a heavy bag being set down after a long walk. The mind says, if I stop being angry, does that mean it wasn't serious? Or if I stop feeling hurt, does that mean it didn't matter? This is a deep fear, but the truth is your pain mattered even if you release it. Your experience mattered even if you find peace. You do not have to keep the wound open to prove it was real. You can honor the truth and still heal. The past also feels hard to release when you are still judging yourself for having feelings about it. Many people say, I shouldn't still be upset, or it's been too long, or other people had it worse. But these thoughts are not healing thoughts. They are shame thoughts. They add another layer of pain on top of the pain that already existed. Healing begins when you stop judging yourself for being human. Healing begins when you say, "It makes sense that this hurt me." And from that gentle honesty, forgiveness becomes possible. Sometimes the hardest part to release is not what someone else did, but what you believe it says about you. When someone leaves, you may believe it means you weren't enough. When someone hurts you, you may believe it means you were foolish to trust. When something doesn't work out, you may believe it means you are not meant to succeed. These are interpretations, not facts, but they can feel like facts if they are repeated long enough. The mind takes a painful moment and turns it into a rule for life. And then the rule becomes a prison. Letting go becomes hard because it requires breaking the rule. It requires asking, what if that moment did not define me? The past can also stay strong when you are trying to rush your healing. Rushing creates pressure. Pressure creates tension. Tension keeps the body tight and the mind busy. Forgiveness grows best in softness. It grows best in patience. It grows best when you stop forcing the process and start owing the process. You don't have to win against your feelings. You only have to listen to them and lead them gently toward peace. So if letting go feels hard, it does not mean you are doing something wrong. It means you are learning. It means you are working with the mind, the heart, and the body. And those parts need time, kindness, and repetition. Healing is not about snapping your fingers and being done. Healing is about returning to the present again and again with love. The first step is not letting go perfectly. The first step is noticing what you are holding. Noticing is power. Noticing is the beginning of release, because when you see the pattern, you can choose a new response. When you see the story, you can soften it. When you see the grip, you can loosen it. And here is a gentle truth. You do not have to let go of everything at once. You only have to let go of what you can, one breath at a time. Even a small release is a release. Even a small softening is healing. Even the decision to stop replaying the story for 1 minute is progress, and progress repeated becomes freedom. When life feels heavy, the mind often tries to solve everything with more thinking. It tries to fix pain with more replay. It tries to find peace by understanding every detail. But peace is not found by squeezing the mind tighter. Peace is found by shifting the inner message. This is why a simple affirmation can matter so much. An affirmation is not a magic spell. It is a direction. It is a way of telling your mind and body, we are going this way now. It is a gentle command to the inner world. Release. The mind learns through repetition. The body softens through repetition. The heart opens through repetition. So the goal is not to say a line once and expect everything to change. The goal is to plant a new message and water it daily. And you do not need many words. You need true words, simple words, words you can remember when your mind is tired. If you feel ready, place a hand over your heart. Let it be a sign of care, not pressure. Feel your breath moving. Feel your heartbeat. Let the touch remind you that you are here now. You are not back then. You are here. Now say, softly inside, I forgive. I set myself free. Say it again, slowly. I forgive. I set myself free. Notice what happens when you say it. Maybe your shoulders drop a little. Maybe you feel nothing at first. Maybe you feel resistance. Maybe you feel emotion rise. All of that is okay. The purpose is not to force a feeling. The purpose is to offer your inner world a new path. Now add a second line that can become an anchor when the mind wants to replay. I release what I cannot change. Again, I release what I cannot change. This line is powerful because it cuts through the argument with the past. The mind loves to argue with what happened. It loves to say, it shouldn't have been that way. And maybe it shouldn't have, but it was. And every time you fight what was, you lose energy, you lose peace, you lose the present. This affirmation is not saying what happened was good. It is saying you are done fighting reality. You are done spending your life energy on a moment you cannot redo. Some people struggle with the word forgive at first. If that is you, you can begin with willingness. You can say, I am willing to forgive, or I am willing to release the past, or I am willing to be free. Willingness is gentle. It does not demand that you be perfect. It only asks you to open the door a little, and through a small opening, peace can enter. When you repeat your affirmation, it helps to link it to the breath. The breath is always available. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, you can breathe, so you can make it simple. On the inhale, you say inside, I forgive. On the exhale, I set myself free. On the next inhale, I release. On the next exhale, what I cannot change. This creates a rhythm. It teaches the nervous system that release is safe. At first, the mind might argue. It might say, but you don't know what happened, or it was too painful, or they don't deserve forgiveness, or I can't forgive myself. When those thoughts come, do not fight them. Fighting creates more tension. Instead, answer softly, I am choosing peace. Again, I am choosing peace. This is important because forgiveness is not a debate with your past. It is a decision for your present. You are not trying to prove anything. You are not trying to make someone else right. You are choosing to stop suffering. If you use these lines daily, something begins to shift. The mind starts to learn that it does not have to replay the story every time it feels fear. The body starts to learn that it can soften instead of brace. The heart starts to learn that it can open again slowly, safely. This is how healing happens, not in a sudden jump, but in steady, gentle practice. So keep it simple. A few words, a few breaths, a hand over the heart, and the same message repeated with care. I forgive. I set myself free. I release what I cannot change. Every time you say it, you are choosing yourself. The mind can understand forgiveness, but the body needs to experience release. This is why a simple visualization can be so helpful. It gives your inner world a clear image of what you are doing. You are not only thinking about letting go, you are practicing letting go. You are showing your body what freedom feels like. Begin by taking a slow breath. Let your breathing be natural. No need to do it perfectly. Just let the breath arrive and let it leave. Feel your body where it touches the chair or the bed or the ground. Feel that you are supported. You do not have to hold yourself up alone in this moment. Life is holding you. Now imagine, in your hands, you are carrying something heavy. You may not see it clearly at first, but you can feel the weight. This weight is the past you have been carrying. It is the pain you revisit. It is the story you replay. It is the anger you keep near. It is the regret you punish yourself with. It is the guilt that whispers at night. It is the sadness that sits quietly in the background. As you look closer, you notice that the weight is made of several stones. Each stone has a word on it. One stone may say anger, another may say regret, another may say guilt, another may say shame, another may say fear, another may say grief. You don't have to choose the words perfectly. Just notice what feels true for you. Feel how heavy those stones are, not to scare you, but to recognize what you have been carrying. You carried it because you were trying to survive. You carried it because you were trying to protect yourself. You carried it because you didn't know another way, and now you are learning a new way. Now imagine there is a place in front of you where you can set these stones down. It might feel like a calm space, a safe space, a space that can hold what you no longer want to hold. You do not need to understand how it works. You only need to know that you do not have to carry the stones anymore. Take the stone called anger. Notice its weight. Notice how long you have held it. And now, gently set it down. As you do, breathe out. Let your shoulders soften. Let your hands relax. Now take the stone called regret. Feel how it pulls you backward. Feel how it keeps saying, if only. And now, set it down. Breathe out again. Let your chest loosen a little. Now take the stone called guilt. Feel how it makes you think you must suffer to be a good person. And now, set it down. Breathe out. Let your stomach soften. Now, take the stone called shame. Feel how it tries to make you feel small. Feel how it tries to hide you from your own love. And now, set it down. Breathe out. Let your throat open. Now take the stone called fear. Feel how it tells you to stay guarded. Feel how it makes the future feel unsafe. And now set it down. Breathe out. Let your jaw unclench. Now take the stone called grief. Feel how tender it is. Grief is love that had nowhere to go. Grief is not wrong. Grief is human, and you do not have to throw it away. You can honor it and still release the heaviness. Set it down gently. Breathe out. Let your eyes soften. Notice your hands now. Notice how they feel without the stones. Notice the space in your palms. Notice the lightness. This is what forgiveness begins to feel like. Space, not empty in a lonely way, but empty in a free way, like a room cleared out so something beautiful can enter. Now bring your hand back to your heart in your imagination. As if you are checking in with yourself, ask quietly, how do I feel when I am not holding the past so tightly? You may feel calm. You may feel unsure. You may feel emotional. You may feel relief. Whatever you feel is allowed. Now speak gently inside. I forgive and I set myself free. Again, I forgive and I set myself free. If the mind tries to grab the stones again, notice it. The mind may say, but what if you need them? Or, what if letting go means something bad? Just answer softly, I am safe to release. Again, I am safe to release. And now imagine a warm, gentle light around you. This light is not judging you. It is not rushing you. It is simply present. It is the energy of healing. It is the feeling of being supported. Let it surround you like a soft blanket. Let it remind you that you are not alone. Let it remind you that you are allowed to heal. Take another slow breath and say, I release what I cannot change. Again, I release what I cannot change. Now notice how different the body feels when you say that line. The shoulders loosen, the chest opens, the face softens, the breath gets deeper. This is the body learning a new message. This is the nervous system hearing. We can rest now. This is the heart being given permission to stop fighting. You can return to this practice anytime. Anytime the past rises, anytime your mind starts to replay, anytime you feel yourself tightening, you can imagine the stones again, you can name them again, and you can set them down again, because forgiveness is not a one-time event. It is a daily release. It is a daily choice. It is a daily return to freedom. And every time you practice it, you teach your inner world something simple and life-changing. You do not have to carry yesterday into today. You are allowed to set it down. You are allowed to breathe. You are allowed to be free. There is a kind of pain that sits deeper than anger at someone else, and that pain is the weight of blaming yourself. It can be quiet, but it is heavy. It can show up as a thought that repeats when you are alone. I should have known. I should have left sooner. I should have spoken up. I shouldn't have trusted. I ruined everything. And even when life moves forward on the outside, that inner voice keeps pulling you back, as if you must keep suffering to prove you learned your lesson. But suffering is not a sign of growth. Suffering is a sign that a part of you is still stuck in the past, still trying to fix what cannot be fixed. Growth is something else. Growth is honesty. Growth is learning. Growth is choosing better now without hating who you were then. Growth is understanding that you were doing the best you could with what you knew at the time, with the tools you had, with the pain you carried, with the fears you didn't yet know how to hold. Self-forgiveness does not mean you pretend nothing happened. It does not mean you deny a mistake. It does not mean you stop taking responsibility. It means you stop attacking yourself. It means you stop turning your own mind into a courtroom. It means you stop living as if you must pay forever for one chapter. Responsibility says, I see what happened and I will grow. Shame says, I am what happened, and I will never be free. Self-forgiveness is choosing responsibility without shame. Sometimes you hold on to self-blame because it feels like control. If you blame yourself, then the mind says, "At least I know why it happened. At least I can prevent it next time." But blaming yourself is not the same as learning. Blaming yourself keeps you small. Learning makes you wise. Learning makes you stronger. Learning helps you move forward. So the question is not, how can I punish myself enough? The question is, what did I learn? And how can I love myself as I practice that lesson? There is also a tender truth. Many of the choices you regret were made by a version of you who was scared or lonely or trying to be loved or trying to survive. Sometimes you did not choose from confidence. You chose from need. Sometimes you did not choose from wisdom. You chose from fear. That does not make you bad. That makes you human. And when you see that, something softens. You stop seeing your past self as an enemy. You start seeing your past self as someone who needed help. Bring your hand to your heart again, not as a rule, but as a kindness. Feel the warmth. Feel the simple fact that you are here now, and say slowly, "I forgive myself." Say it like you are speaking to someone you care about. "I forgive myself." Say it again, even if your mind argues, "I forgive myself." If the words feel too big, start smaller. Start with willingness. "I am willing to forgive myself." Or, "I am learning to forgive myself." Or, "I am open to being kind to myself." These are real steps. These are honest steps. They count. Now, let your mind remember something important. You are not the same person you were then. You have lived, you have learned, you have grown. Even the fact that you feel regret shows that your heart has changed. People who do not grow do not feel regret. They repeat the same pain without learning. But you are learning. You are awake. You are aware. And that awareness is the start of freedom. Self-forgiveness often brings up a fear. If I forgive myself, will I repeat the mistake? But forgiveness does not remove your learning. Forgiveness does not erase your wisdom. Forgiveness simply removes the extra pain of shame. Shame does not protect you. Shame only keeps you stuck. When you forgive yourself, you actually become clearer. You see what happened more honestly. You can make better choices from peace instead of panic. So speak gently to yourself in a new way. Instead of saying, "I was so stupid," try saying, "I was doing my best." Instead of saying, "I ruined everything," try saying, "I am still here and I can build again." Instead of saying, "I don't deserve peace," try saying, "I deserve healing." This is not pretending. This is choosing a message that supports growth. Now let a simple truth settle inside you. You cannot hate yourself into a better life. You cannot punish yourself into peace. You cannot shame yourself into healing. Healing comes from love. Healing comes from honesty wrapped in kindness. Healing comes from the choice to stop being your own enemy. Say softly now, "I am learning. I am growing. I forgive myself now." Again, "I am learning. I am growing. I forgive myself now." And if tears come, let them come. Tears are not weakness. Tears are release. Tears are the body, letting go of what it could not carry anymore. If nothing comes, that is okay too. Healing is not always loud. Sometimes healing is quiet. Sometimes it is simply a deep breath and a new choice. Self-forgiveness is not a one-time moment. It is a practice. It is how you treat yourself when you remember. It is how you speak to yourself when you feel regret. It is how you guide your mind back to the present when it tries to punish you. Each time the past rises, you can meet it with a new voice, a voice that says, "That was then, this is now, I am free to grow." Forgiveness becomes confusing when you think it means you must return to what hurt you. Many people avoid forgiveness because they fear it will pull them back into the same pain. They fear it will erase boundaries. They fear it will invite disrespect again. But forgiveness does not mean reopening the door. Forgiveness means closing the door gently, without dragging the past behind you. You can forgive someone and still choose distance. You can forgive someone and still say, "I do not want this in my life anymore." You can forgive someone and still protect your peace. Forgiveness is not a contract that forces you to stay close. Forgiveness is an inner release. It is a way of saying, "I am done carrying the charge of this story in my body." Sometimes a person harmed you and never admitted it. Sometimes they moved on as if nothing happened. Sometimes they never apologized. Sometimes they do not even understand the pain they caused, and the mind says, "I cannot forgive until they understand." But if you wait for them to understand, you stay trapped. You remain tied to their awareness. You remain tied to their choices. Forgiveness is the moment you take your power back from that waiting. This does not mean you approve of what happened. It means you choose not to let it poison your life anymore. Holding resentment can feel like strength, but resentment often becomes a heavy chain. It keeps your attention on the person who hurt you. It keeps your energy tied to the old event. It keeps you in a silent battle that happens every day inside your mind. Forgiveness is stepping out of that battle. It is choosing to stop paying attention to what drains you. There is also a fear that forgiveness means the other person wins. But forgiveness is not their win. Forgiveness is your freedom. Forgiveness is you choosing to stop letting their actions control your inner world. Forgiveness is you saying, "I will not give you that much power over my peace." When you see it this way, forgiveness becomes strong, not weak. It becomes a boundary in itself, a boundary that says, "This ends here, inside me." If you want a simple way to forgive without losing yourself, keep the focus on release, not reunion. Keep the focus on your heart, not their behavior. You can say, "I release you from my mind. I release you from my heart. I release this from my life." You are not sending them love letters. You are not inviting them back. You are releasing the grip. You can also forgive without speaking to them at all. Many times forgiveness happens privately. It happens in a quiet moment when you choose not to replay the story again. It happens when you choose to stop checking what they are doing. It happens when you choose not to argue with them in your head anymore. It happens when you choose to stop needing them to be different. These choices are forgiveness in action. Sometimes forgiveness is easier when you understand that hurt people often hurt people. This does not excuse anything. It simply helps your mind stop turning the pain into a personal judgment about your worth. Someone else's inability to love well does not define your value. Someone else's behavior may show their level of healing, their level of awareness, their level of emotional skills. You may never know their full story, but you can choose to stop letting their story become your prison. Forgiveness also makes room for your own future. When you forgive, you stop carrying old fear into new relationships. You stop assuming everyone will hurt you the same way. You stop meeting new people through old pain. This does not mean you become careless. It means you become clearer. You become more honest about what you will allow and what you will not. You become more connected to your intuition. You learn to trust yourself again. A simple line that can help is, I forgive and I keep my peace. Again, I forgive and I keep my peace. This holds both truths, release and boundaries. You can forgive and still say no. You can forgive and still walk away. You can forgive and still choose yourself. If the mind says, but they don't deserve forgiveness, you can answer, this is not about what they deserve. This is about what I deserve. And what you deserve is peace. What you deserve is calm. What you deserve is a life that is not controlled by old pain. So let forgiveness be clean and simple. Let it be an inner release. Let it be a return of your energy to you. Let it be a choice that sets you free without pulling you back. Say softly now, I let this go for my peace. I choose what is healthy for me. Again, I let this go for my peace. I choose what is healthy for me. And feel the power in that. Forgiveness is not losing yourself. Forgiveness is coming back to yourself. Forgiveness is not only a moment. Forgiveness is a practice, because the mind has habits, and habits return. Old memories can rise on quiet days. Old feelings can appear when you least expect them. This is not a sign that you failed. It is a sign that you are human. The key is having a simple daily way to return to freedom again and again. Start small. Keep it simple. A daily practice does not need to be long. It needs to be steady. It needs to be easy enough that you can actually do it even when you are tired. It needs to meet you in real life, not only in your best moments. In the morning, before your day pulls you in many directions, take one slow breath and place a hand on your heart. Then say one sentence. Today, I release the past. Or today, I choose peace. Or today, I forgive and set myself free. Choose one line that feels real. You do not need a speech. You need a direction. Then ask one gentle question. What am I ready to release today? Not forever, not all at once, just today. What thought? What story? What weight It might be a small thing. It might be a big thing. You do not have to force an answer. Even asking the question opens space. At night, before sleep, do the same. One breath, one hand on the heart, one sentence. I did my best today. I forgive and I release. This is powerful because sleep is a reset. It is a time when the mind and body repair, and when you go to sleep holding resentment, stress, or regret, the body stays tense. But when you go to sleep with release, the body can rest deeper. A journal can help, but it does not need to be complicated. You can write just a few lines. You can write one honest sentence. Today I felt, and finish it. Or you can write one choice. Today I release, and name it. Or you can write one kindness. Today I will speak to myself with love. The purpose is not perfect writing. The purpose is awareness. Awareness breaks the loop of replay. You can also add a small gratitude practice because gratitude keeps your mind in the present. When the mind is focused on gratitude, it has less space to feed old pain. At night, name 3 simple things that brought you a little peace. Not big things, small things. A warm drink, a kind message, a quiet moment, a deep breath. These moments matter. They remind you that life is not only the past, life is also now. When old thoughts return during the day, use a quick reset, pause for one breath and say, "Not today, I release," or "I choose peace now." Then bring your attention to something real in the moment. Your feet on the ground, the sound around you, your breath, the feeling of your hand on your chest. This pulls you out of the past and back into your life. And if you forgive one day and feel angry the next day, do not judge yourself. Forgiveness happens in layers. Some days you will feel light. Some days you will feel tender. Some days you will feel strong emotion again. That does not mean you are back at the beginning. It means a deeper layer is rising to be released. Meet it with the same practice. Breath, kindness, release. Repeat simple lines often. Keep them close. Let them become your inner language. I forgive. I release. I set myself free. Say it in the shower. Say it while walking. Say it while waiting. Say it when the mind starts pulling you back. These words are not just words. They are a path you are choosing. Over time, you will notice changes. Your mind will replay less. Your body will soften faster. Your heart will feel more open. You will be less reactive. You will be more present. And the past will still be part of your story, but it will no longer control your day. This is what staying free looks like. Not never remembering, but remembering without being trapped. Not never feeling, but feeling without drowning. Not pretending, but releasing again and again, day by day, breath by breath. There is a moment in healing when you realize you have been holding your breath for a long time, not only in the body, but in the heart, holding back hope, holding back trust, holding back joy, because the past taught you to guard yourself. And then, slowly, as you practice forgiveness, something begins to open. You breathe deeper. You relax a little more. You stop living on the edge of old pain. You begin to feel safe enough to live again. Forgiveness is not a command. It is not a demand. It is an invitation into freedom. And freedom does not mean nothing ever hurt. Freedom means the hurt does not get to rule you anymore. Freedom means you can think of the past without losing your present. Freedom means you can build a new chapter without dragging the old one behind you. Now, take a slow breath in. Let it be soft. Let it be calm. Let it move through your chest like warm air, and breathe out slowly, as if you are letting something heavy leave your body. Let your shoulders drop. Let your forehead relax. Let your hands unclench. Let your body feel what release is like. You are allowed to move on. You are allowed to feel peace. You are allowed to live without replay. You are allowed to be free. Say softly now, I forgive and I set myself free. Again, I forgive and I set myself free. If your mind tries to argue, if it tries to bring you out, repeat the story again, answer with kindness. I release what I cannot change. Again, I release what I cannot change. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. It takes wisdom to stop fighting the past. It takes wisdom to choose peace. It takes wisdom to understand that your energy belongs to your life now, not to old pain. Forgiveness is how you come back to yourself. It is how you return to the part of you that still believes in good, still believes in healing, still believes in love. Even if you feel tired, even if you feel hurt, even if you feel unsure, there is still a light in you that wants freedom. That light is real, and every time you choose forgiveness, you feed that light. You do not need to do it perfectly. You only need to do it honestly. You only need to practice. You only need to keep returning. Healing is not a straight line, but it is real, and it begins in small choices, repeated. And sometimes it begins with one honest sentence spoken quietly inside. I am tired of carrying this. If that is where you are, that is enough. That is a beginning. That is truth. That is courage. You do not have to force forgiveness. You do not have to push yourself into a feeling you do not have yet. You do not have to rush to be over it. Rushing can become another form of control, another way the mind tries to make the pain disappear, but pain does not leave because you demand it. Pain leaves when it is met with honesty, patience, and love. Pain leaves when you stop feeding it with daily replay. Pain leaves when you give yourself permission to move forward even while you are still healing. There is a part of you that wants freedom, not the kind of freedom that comes from running away, but the kind of freedom that comes from no longer being pulled by old emotions, freedom that feels like a clear chest, freedom that feels like a deep breath, freedom that feels like waking up and not feeling the past sitting on your heart before you even open your eyes. That freedom is possible, and it begins in a simple place. The choice to release, the choice to stop arguing with what cannot be changed, the choice to stop punishing yourself with old scenes, the choice to stop giving your power to an old moment. Forgiveness is the bridge from pain to peace, and every step you take on that bridge is a step back into your own life. If you feel ready, even just a little, place a hand over your heart. Feel the warmth of your palm. Feel your breath moving under your hand. Feel the simple truth that you are alive in this moment, and say softly inside, I forgive and I set myself free. You do not have to feel it fully yet. You only have to be willing to begin. Willingness is powerful. Willingness is a door. When you open the door, life can enter. The heart does not need a perfect reason to heal. The heart only needs space. When the mind is crowded with old anger, old regret, old blame, there is no room left for peace. Forgiveness creates room. It clears the air inside you. It allows new feelings to arrive: ease, safety, hope, trust. It is like opening a window after a long storm. The fresh air does not erase what happened, but it changes how you breathe. It changes how you live. There is a deep truth that many people miss. Forgiveness is not about what someone else deserves. Forgiveness is about what you deserve. You deserve rest. You deserve calm. You deserve to stop carrying what hurts you. You deserve to stop being trapped in the same old circle. You deserve to step out of the past and into your life. And if your mind says, but what if I forgive and the pain comes back? Then hear this. Forgiveness is not a one-time moment. It is a practice of choosing release again and again. Sometimes you forgive, and then a memory returns, and you forgive again. That is not failure. That is how healing works. The mind learns through repetition. So bring your hand to your heart one more time. Feel your breath, feel your life, and say, with a calm and steady voice inside, I forgive. I release the past. I choose peace now. Again, I forgive. I release the past. I choose peace now. Let that be your truth. Let that be your practice. Let that be your freedom. Forgiveness is the moment you stop letting yesterday control today. It is the moment you stop carrying the same pain into every new chapter. It is the moment you choose peace, not because the past was okay, but because you are ready to be okay. You are ready to breathe again. You are ready to live again. You can forgive without excusing. You can forgive without forgetting. You can forgive without returning. You can forgive while keeping strong boundaries. You can forgive others, and you can forgive yourself. Most of all, you can forgive because your heart deserves rest. Healing begins the moment you let the past go, not in a perfect way, not in a rushed way, but in a real way, one breath at a time, one choice at a time, one soft release at a time. Say it one last time, slowly. I forgive and I set myself free. The heart softens through repetition. The body releases through repetition. Each time you choose forgiveness, you loosen another thread that ties you to the past. So begin here, not with pressure, not with force, but with a gentle decision. The past may have shaped you, but it does not get to lead you. The past may have hurt you, but it does not get to own you. The past may still speak in your thoughts, but you can choose a new voice, a kinder voice, a voice that says, I am free to heal now. Breathe again, inhale peace, exhale the need to carry everything, and let this be your first step. Forgiveness is the way home to yourself. Holding on can feel like strength. It can feel like protection. It can feel like control. The mind says, if I keep this pain close, I will stay alert. I will stay safe. I will remember what to avoid. But over time, holding on begins to cost more than it gives. It starts to drain you. It starts to shape your days. It starts to change the way you love, the way you trust, the way you see yourself. And slowly, without noticing, the past becomes a filter over everything. When you do not forgive, the old story stays active. It stays open, like a wound that never gets air. Even when life offers you something new, your mind compares it to what happened before. Even when someone is kind, you wait for the turn. Even when you have a good moment, a part of you is watching, ready for it to break. That is not peace. That is survival, and survival is exhausting. Not forgiving does not punish the past. It punishes the present. It keeps your heart in a hard place. It keeps your body tense. It keeps your mind busy with thoughts that go nowhere. It keeps your spirit tired, and the worst part is that it can start to feel normal, like this is just who you are now. But that is not who you are. That is what you have been and carrying. You might notice it in small ways. You wake up and you feel heavy, even when nothing bad is happening that day. You feel tense when you try to relax. You feel guarded when you want to be open. You feel angry at random times, and you don't even know why. You feel restless. You feel like you are always on. And sometimes you feel numb, because feeling anything too deeply feels like too much. The body remembers. Even if the mind tries to move on, the body holds the feeling. Old pain can live in the shoulders, in the chest, in the stomach, in the throat. Old anger can show up as tightness. Old regret can show up as weight. Old shame can show up as a feeling of not being safe in your own skin. You may not call it forgiveness when you feel these things, but they are connected. Because when you forgive, the body gets the message that it can stop bracing. When you forgive, the nervous system begins to soften. When you forgive, you start to breathe differently. There is also a quiet spiritual cost to not forgiving. Your energy becomes tied to the old moment. A part of you stays back there, holding the story, holding the pain, holding the need to understand. And when part of you stays back there, you cannot fully step forward. You may try, you may plan, you may push, but inside, something is still locked, something is still waiting, something is still saying, not yet, it's not safe. This is why forgiveness is not just emotional, it is spiritual. It is the release of a bond that keeps you stuck. It is the return of your own power, because every time you replay the past, you give it energy. Every time you hold on to anger, you keep the connection alive. Every time you keep punishing yourself, you keep the pain active. Forgiveness is the choice to stop feeding what hurts you. If you do not forgive, it can show up in your relationships. You may not trust people who have done nothing to harm you. You may expect to be left. You may test love without realizing it. You may pull away when things get close. or you may cling because you are afraid of loss. Not forgiving can make your heart act like a locked door. You want love, but you fear it. You want connection, but you expect pain. And the mind keeps saying, "See, this is why." Not forgiving can also show up in your work, your dreams, your confidence. You hesitate to try because you remember the time you failed. You hold back because you remember the time you were judged. You doubt yourself because you remember the time you were not supported. The past becomes a voice inside. Don't risk it. Don't shine. Don't hope too much. And slowly your life gets smaller, not because you were meant to live small, but because you were carrying old fear. And then there is the weight of self-blame. Sometimes forgiveness is not about another person at a shohan. Lol. Sometimes it is about you, about what you wish you had done, about what you wish you had said, about the moment you wish you could rewrite. Self-blame can be one of the heaviest loads. It makes you feel like you must keep suffering to prove you understand your mistake. It makes you feel like you must stay unhappy because you do not deserve peace. But suffering does not heal you. Suffering only keeps you stuck. Healing comes from learning, from growing, from choosing better now. Healing comes from forgiving yourself. So what happens if you don't forgive? The answer is simple, and it matters. You stay tied to what hurt you. You stay tied to the person you were in that moment. You stay tied to the story that says you were not safe, not loved, not enough, not worthy. And as long as that tie remains, your heart keeps pulling backward, even when your life is trying to move forward. This is not said to scare you. It is said to be honest, because honesty is how healing begins. There is no shame in having a hard time forgiving. There is no shame in feeling angry. There is no shame in feeling hurt. But there is a choice available, and it can change everything. You can choose release. You can choose to stop carrying the past. You can choose to stop giving your days to an old moment. Forgiveness does not mean the past was okay. It means you are ready for your life to be okay. It means you are ready to stop letting yesterday decide your mood today. It means you are ready to reclaim the energy you have been spending on replay. Think of your energy like water in a cup. If the cup is full of anger, regret, and blame, there is no room for peace. There is no room for joy. There is no room for love to land and stay. Even when good things come, they spill out because there is no space. Forgiveness empties the cup. It creates room. It makes space for healing to enter. And what happens when you do forgive? Something soft begins. Your breath gets deeper. Your mind gets quieter. Your heart feels less tight. You notice small moments again. You feel more present. You stop living with one foot in the past. You begin to live in your real life, the one happening right now. Forgiving does not erase your memory. It changes your relationship with the memory. The memory becomes a chapter, not your whole book. The memory becomes something you learned from, not something you live inside. You can remember without being trapped. You can think of it without feeling like you are back there. That is freedom. So here are the real stakes. If you keep holding on, you keep paying the cost, again and again, day after day. But if you forgive, you stop paying that cost. You take your power back. You choose peace. You choose yourself. You choose to be free. And there is another truth. You do not need to wait for the perfect moment to forgive. You do not need someone else to apologize. You do not need the past to change. Forgiveness is an inside choice. It is an inner release. It is a quiet decision that says, I am done suffering over this. Place your hand on your heart again, if it helps, and say softly, I forgive, I release, I set myself free. Let it be a seed. Let it be a beginning. Let it be your choice to stop carrying the weight. Forgiveness is often misunderstood, and because it is misunderstood, people either avoid it or force it. They think it is something they must do quickly, like checking a box. They think it means they must feel warm toward what hurt them. They think it means they must let someone back into their life. They think it means they must pretend the pain was small, and because they cannot honestly do that, they believe forgiveness is not possible for them. But forgiveness is not what many people think it is. Forgiveness is not excusing. It is not saying it was fine. It is not saying it didn't matter. It is not saying you were right. Forgiveness can exist while you still know something was wrong. You can forgive and still tell the truth. You can forgive and still honor your feelings. You can forgive and still know that what happened hurt you. Forgiveness does not erase truth. Forgiveness releases the grip of the truth that has been hurting you. Forgiveness is not forgetting. Forgetting is something the mind does when it loses a memory over time. Forgiveness is something the heart does when it no longer wants to live in the pain of the memory. You may remember what happened for the rest of your life. The goal is not to delete the memory. The goal is to stop bleeding every time you touch it. The goal is to remember without reliving. The goal is to let the memory be there without letting it run your life. Forgiveness is not saying you are okay with being treated badly. It does not mean you accept harm. It does not mean you stay in a situation that hurts you. It does not mean you keep a door open that should be closed. Forgiveness and boundaries can live together. You can forgive and still say, I will not allow that again. You can forgive and still choose distance. You can forgive and still protect your peace. In fact, true forgiveness often makes boundaries clearer because you stop acting from anger and start acting from self-respect. Forgiveness is also not a gift you give to someone else as a reward. It is not something they must earn. It is not a trophy for good behavior. It is a release you give yourself because you are tired of carrying the pain. This is important because it brings your power back to you. If forgiveness depends on someone else changing, you remain trapped. But if forgiveness is your choice, you become free. So what is forgiveness really? Forgiveness is letting go of the need to replay. It is letting go of the need to punish. It is letting go of the need to hold the pain as proof that what happened was real. Forgiveness is saying, yes, this happened, and it hurt, and I no longer choose to carry this pain into my next chapter. Forgiveness is the decision to stop giving your life energy to what is over. Forgiveness is also a way of choosing peace over control. The mind loves to control the story. It wants to fix the past with thoughts. It wants to find the perfect reason, the perfect explanation, the perfect moment that makes it all make sense. But some things will never make sense in a way that feels fair. Some things happened because people were unhealed. Some things happened because of fear, ignorance, or pain. Some things happened because life can be messy. Forgiveness does not require full understanding. It requires the willingness to stop suffering. Forgiveness is a shift in where you place your attention. When you are hurt, your attention goes to the wound. That is natural. But when you stay there for too long, your whole life becomes about the wound. Forgiveness moves attention from the wound to the healing. It asks, "What do I need now?" It asks, "How can I care for my heart now?" It asks, "What kind of life do I want to live now?" It turns your face toward the present. Forgiveness is also an act of love toward yourself, not because you are selfish, but because you are responsible for your inner world. You are responsible for your peace. You may not be responsible for what happened, but you are responsible for what you carry. You are responsible for what you keep feeding with your thoughts. And when you choose forgiveness, you are choosing to feed peace instead of pain. Sometimes people resist forgiveness because they fear it means the other person wins. They fear it means the pain was for nothing. They fear it means they are weak. But forgiveness is not weakness. Forgiveness is strength. It takes strength to soften when you have every reason to harden. It takes strength to let go when you want to hold on. It takes strength to stop replaying a story that feels familiar, even if it hurts. Forgiveness is the courage to choose a new inner life. And forgiveness does not always start with the other person. Many times, forgiveness begins with the part of you that has been fighting yourself, the part of you that says, "I should have known better," the part of you that says, "It's my fault," the part of you that says, "I ruined everything." Forgiveness says, "I did the best I could with what I knew at the time." Forgiveness says, "I am human." Forgiveness says, "I am learning." Forgiveness says, "I will not punish myself forever." It is also helpful to know that forgiveness can happen in layers. You may forgive one part of the story, but another part still hurts. You may forgive on some days and feel angry again on other days. This does not mean you are failing. This means your heart is working through the layers. Healing is not a straight line. Ailing is a gentle spiral. You return to the same place with more wisdom each time. Each time you choose forgiveness, you release a little more. Forgiveness is not denying your feelings. It is not pushing anger down and pretending you are fine. That is not forgiveness, that is avoidance. True forgiveness includes honesty. It includes saying, "This hurt." It includes letting yourself feel the sadness, the anger, the grief, the disappointment. Feelings are not your enemy. Feelings are your messengers. They show you where healing is needed. Forgiveness is what you do after you have listened to the feelings, not what you use to silence them. So here is a simple way to understand it. Forgiveness is release. It is the release of the heavy grip. It is the release of the story that keeps you stuck. It is the release of the need to carry pain as your identity. It is the release of the belief that peace must wait until the past changes. Forgiveness is choosing peace now. If you want to begin in a gentle way, start with words that do not demand too much. Start with willingness. Willingness is soft. Willingness is honest. Willingness says, I may not be ready to forgive fully, but I am willing to begin. And that is enough. Try saying this inside, slowly. I am willing to forgive. Pause. I am willing to release the past. Pause. I am willing to be free. Let the words be simple. Let them be real. Let them meet you where you are. Forgiveness does not mean you must rush to reconnect. It does not mean you must explain yourself. It does not mean you must make peace with someone outside you. It means you are making peace inside you. It means you are choosing to stop living in the fight. It means you are choosing to stop drinking the poison of old anger and hoping it will change the past. There is also a deeper spiritual truth behind forgiveness. When you hold on to pain, you keep your energy tied to that pain. When you forgive, you call your energy back. You stop sending your life force into an old story. You stop leaking power. You become whole again. You become present again. You become available for new love, new joy, new peace. This is why forgiveness feels like freedom when it is real. The mind becomes lighter, the body becomes softer, the heart feels more open, and slowly life begins to feel possible again. So remember what forgiveness is and what it isn't. It is not excusing. It is not forgetting. It is not allowing harm. It is not pretending. It is not weakness. It is not a gift you give only when someone deserves it. Forgiveness is release. Forgiveness is peace. Forgiveness is choosing your life. Forgiveness is the moment you stop letting the past lead you. Forgiveness is setting yourself free. One breath, one choice, one moment at a time. Letting go sounds simple until you try to do it. The mind hears the words move on and thinks it should be quick, but the heart and body often have their own timing. The past can cling, not because you want to suffer, but because some part of you still believes holding on is safer than letting go. And when you understand why it feels hard, you stop blaming yourself. You stop thinking something is wrong with you. You begin to see that your struggle is human and that healing is possible. One reason the past feels hard to release is because the mind is built to protect you. It stores pain like a warning sign. It repeats scenes like a lesson. It goes over details like it is searching for the moment where you could have prevented the hurt. It asks, what did I miss? And what should I have done? And how do I make sure this never happens again? These questions can feel like control, but most of the time they do not bring peace. They only bring more tension. The mind is trying to keep you safe, but it can keep you stuck in fear. Another reason is that pain becomes familiar. This may sound strange, but the mind can get used to carrying certain feelings, like anger, regret, or shame. After a while, those feelings feel like part of your identity. You don't like them, but you know them. They feel known, and stepping into freedom can feel unknown. The mind sometimes chooses the familiar pain over the unknown peace, because at least familiar pain feels predictable. This is why letting go can feel scary. It is not only release, it is change. Sometimes the past feels hard to release because you never got closure. Maybe you never got an apology. Maybe the truth was never admitted. Maybe you were left with questions that still ache. The mind thinks closure must come from outside. A message, a confession, an explanation, a final talk. But many times, closure does not arrive that way. And when it doesn't, the mind keeps the story open, like a book with pages stuck together. The mind waits for the missing part so it can finally rest. But peace cannot depend on someone else giving you what they may never give. That is why healing often includes creating your own closure, the kind that comes from the inside. Another reason is that the past can carry emotion, not just memory. Sometimes you remember something and your whole body reacts like it is happening again. Your chest tightens, your stomach drops, your throat closes, your hands get cold. This is the body remembering. Your nervous system learned to brace, and it kept the lesson. So even when you tell yourself it's over, the body says, stay alert. This is not weakness. This is how the body protects. And the way out is not fighting the body. The way out is teaching the body gently that the danger is not here anymore. The past can also feel hard to release when you are holding on to a story about yourself. Many people carry a silent belief like, I am not enough, or I am unlovable, or I always mess things up, or people always leave, or good things never last. These beliefs can come from old pain, and then they become a lens. You stop seeing life as it is. You start seeing life through the belief. Then the mind finds proof everywhere, and it feels like the belief is true. Letting go becomes hard, because letting go would also mean questioning that belief, and questioning the belief can feel like stepping into a new world. Sometimes the past feels hard to release because you think letting go means losing something. You think it means you will forget a person, or a time, or a love, or a dream. You think it means you will stop caring, but letting go does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop suffering. You can honor what mattered without holding on to the pain of what ended. You can remember love without being trapped in loss. There is also the fear that if you let go, what happened will count less.